It's funny you say that, Sean. The next sentence, I have never actually flown a plane. Expert in fucking, I don't know.
Great power.
For the fifth time, it's your boy Sean.
What's up, Wikimaniacs? Welcome to Reddit on Wiki, where we scour Reddit in search of some of the wildest stories the internet has to offer. My name is Josh Shell, and join with me are my usual co-host, John Consignato and Sean Salvino.
Again, nobody cares. Skip us.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about us today.
Boring. Who cares? It's time to introduce our guest for this episode. She is a life coach, an educator, a content creator, and a million other things that I could not fit in one sentence. Please welcome Laura Danger, aka That Darn Chat. How's it going, Laura?
Oh, it's wonderful. I feel like the anticipation of this episode has been killing me. I'm so eager to get into these messy situations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it looks like I went through your TikTok quite a few times since you've responded to our story, and it sounds like you love getting into the messy stories, so I'm excited.
I do. Yeah, it's been my thing now for a while. I get tagged in all of the mess.
Okay, I was gonna
I'm blessed.
ask how you found our story. Did you get tagged in it, or did you just happen to stumble upon it?
No, I got tagged like millions of times, and I've clearly seen, like, we're running in the same circles.
Yes.
I've seen your stuff, but I guess I don't know why I wasn't following you until then. When I saw the one we collaborated on, I'm gonna say it was just like too great.
You kind of blew that one up because, I mean, I
Yes.
saw you have like over 2 million views on that one. We have
yeah.
like almost 4 million views on ours. It's crazy, that story. But yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, I think it was the story where the husband's wife stopped talking to him because he asked her to stop talking to him. And then, you know.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, it was like, why is my wife not
No
talking
shit,
to me?
Sherlock.
I feel like things have changed.
It's like you got what you wanted, buddy.
Yeah.
Also, I do have a side note on that. Because of that video, both my wife and my mother have bought me two separate things of lip chap,
Lip balm.
lip therapy, lip balm, because my lips were crazy in that video. And just the way my setup is, my camera's so much closer to my face than the other guy. So it's like, when I'm recording, I can't tell. But then when the TikToks go up, I'm like, good God, what? Why did I not do anything? So
How does it feel knowing millions of people have seen your chapped lips?
Chap lip.
Bad. And I feel like it's kind of karma because like right before that, there was an episode where like somebody was like, oh, Sean has nice lips. And I was hamming it up for the episode. And then immediately after that is Chap Lip City, 6 million views. I'm like, oh, no.
That's always the one that takes off.
It's the one where you
It's
look
the
the
one where you
worst.
don't want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also, before we get into it, Laura, we just want to like say a big thank you to you, by the way.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Before we even connected, when you posted that on Instagram, we had like barely any followers.
On Instagram,
And we just
yeah.
completely blew up on Instagram, and all these DMs saying, I found you through That Darn Chat. Laura said, like, Laura like stitched you. So we just want to say a big thank you because I feel like a lot of your audiences kind of crossed over to ours and they've been so engaging. So big thank you to you.
Hey, anything I can do. And you know what? TikTok can be hit or miss. You can have huge engagement and not have it be shown to the people who want to see it.
Yeah.
Whereas at least over on Instagram, they show it to the people who follow you. So I've been shifting over.
You almost want to get people off of TikTok to your other platforms.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Anything we can do to support one another.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we love having you here. We're on track for just getting guests on that are more educated and well-informed.
Yeah. Because
on
we're
topics,
not.
so
We claim to be three dumbasses, and it's funny that you said that because right when you remixed that on TikTok, is it called remixing? I don't use TikTok.
you're such an old.
I'm
Stitch
sorry,
it.
I am an old man.
Stitch.
Stitches, there you go, remix. Holy, I was telling the boys, I was like, oh my God, That Darn Chat just stitched us. I was like, I gotta reach out to her. I gotta reach out. And then next thing you know, you DM'd us first. I was like, this is not happening right now. This is so cool. It was like a starstruck moment for us. So Thank you for being here.
That's like one of those. I mean, I'll never be Drew, but I appreciate the way that I am tagged in certain content. And I remember Felix, my husband, like saw your screen, and it's a bunch of dudes on a podcast. And he was like, "Oh no, what's this? Like, it's going to be really
fair.
bad."
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We get that
You
a
got to be
lot.
careful, the podcast dudes. But no, happy to be here.
It's usually my face. It's just a white podcaster on a screen. It's like, oh, what's this idiot going to say? So we get that a lot. So that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, it is nice to have you on, Laura, and we're excited we'll just hop right into the stories here and get some takes on this. So, full transparency, Fridays we usually do Am I the Asshole, but I have sprinkled in a few relationship advice subreddits. I thought it would be a waste if we didn't have you on and give some relationship
an
advice.
expert, exactly.
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Let's start with the first story that was actually cross-posted on our subreddit by Moonlight, Midscore Detective, Turtles Can Fly, and Shadowcat MD. And the title is, Am I the Asshole for Not Acting Impressed by My Wife's Accomplishments?
Oh, here we
Ooh,
Here we
the
go.
air quotes on accomplishments is so
Toxic
bad.
masculinity already, baby. Ooh, this is gonna be messy.
Yeah. So what do you think? Asshole right off the bat?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if that was it, if that was the sentence, yes.
Okay.
100%. Yes. I don't know. That's where I start with. Yeah.
Perfect. What about you guys, John and Shauna? You guys
Oh yeah.
I just
agreement?
want to preface to Laura real quick. Anytime like there's a Sean name in any of like the words,
Oh,
we
yeah.
bully Sean into changing that. So everyone loves it when we do that. So my prediction is
Jesus.
this guy is definitely an asshole.
Awesome. Well, it seems like you're all on the same page, so we'll hop into the story and
Unanimous.
see if you guys
Yes.
are right. So, my 28 male wife, 26 female, and I have been married for close to 7 years. We currently have 5 kids together, 6 male, 4 male, 3 female, and my wife gave birth to our fraternal twins, son and daughter, a year and a half ago. My wife intended to graduate high school the year we got married, but life got in the way. My dad had given me an investor relationship type of role in his company, so we were traveling a lot, and then after that, our kids needed our attention. After our twins were born, my wife was bedridden for longer than we and even the doctors expected. Since we had to hire extra hands to do the childcare tasks that involved mobility, my wife had some time on her hands.
She's recovering.
I have so
Just a
many
little vacation.
questions,
Yeah.
like right off the bat.
Oh, shoot, I'll see what I can do with the context given.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let you finish.
Okay. Her mother told her that her friend who works at a testing center said that they could give GED tests basically every week, at least across the state of Idaho, and that she should dust off her general education knowledge. She started browsing her laptop and decided to enroll in a GED prep class online. It seems she was better at self-paced learning than a classroom learning, because the stuff they were testing her on came way easier to her now than it did, even though she's been away from structured classroom instructions for many years now. Even after she was back on her feet, she'd be studying for it after she dropped the 2 older off at their respective schools. I would see what she was studying, and it looked pretty rudimentary. I said that terribly. Maybe I should go back to school.
Do you have your GED?
No, we don't. I don't know if we have that in Canada.
I don't know. I forgot. It's
Or
totally
general.
different here.
That's just high school, right? Is that what that
It's
is?
I
a.
think so.
It's.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I knew that getting a GED basically means nothing, and that she probably wouldn't be able to apply to
Jesus.
anything career-wise or commit full-time to community college, where I doubt the job prospects for students are that great right now either.
Dude,
So-
he is talking so much shit for a guy who had his job handed to him by his dad.
Right.
An
That's what I was
insane
thinking,
amount
yes.
of shit for someone who just got handed a job, bro.
Little silver spoon mother.
So my wife ended up taking the test, and the other day she bounded into the room and said, "Yes, I passed. I knew she would since she was doing well on the practice tests, and the GED consistently tests on the same rudimentary topics."
Why
my
does he keep bringing up that word? That's so like demeaning.
Yeah, and I can't even pronounce it, so it's demeaning to me too. To be honest. I did not.
Words are hard.
I did not gripe at her, but merely nodded at her and went back to answering an important email from a client. Oh my God. My wife.
The way he regards his work and the way he regards her work is such like shows how little he thinks of her. And it's
Yeah.
Or thinks highly of himself.
Both.
Yeah.
He patted himself on the back for not griping at her.
Yeah,
Just
like he's the shit for doing that.
Why would that be your response? So my wife seemed to get upset and I asked her what was wrong. She said I didn't seem that excited and I said that it's great that she passed, but I've been telling her that it was easy and no big deal. But but if she needed something to prove herself that she knew high school concepts, I guess the money was well spent. She got even more upset and said she worked very hard to do this and it was an essential building block to be able to start a career. That's it. Am I the asshole? That's all he says.
Yeah.
Dude.
Gaping. A gaping
Yes.
asshole.
Yeah. Like, care about what your wife is accomplishing in her life. give any kind of a shit.
There's so much wrong. There's so much wrong with what he said. Every layer. Like, let's start with her being in high school when they got together and them getting married and having kids at 20 and 21.
Right.
Where he calls himself an investor in his dad's business.
He sounds like a crypto bro.
What?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, and just being like handed that position, like you guys said, it's like just silver spoon. Here you go. Here's a position that probably pays pretty decently. You didn't have to work at all for it. You know, like, what have you accomplished?
If I baked a cake and I came in to my husband's office while he's doing something and I was like, look at this cake I made, he'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah. You talk up your partner no matter how small or
Yes.
large the
Celebrate those
the
wins.
accomplishments are.
Can I also have a call out with that? I feel like he makes it sound so demeaning that someone her age is barely getting a GED. Okay. And I hate that. But I also just want to have a call out because there's a lot of like barrier for opportunities for a lot of kids, whether if it's like, like in a poor financial situation or all that. I just want to let you know a resource that's available out there. It's called the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. There's a lot of programs in cities. This is for the US, Josh. So sorry. I don't know if Canada has it. There's programs in different cities where it's like, if you just call your local workforce boards, where you can actually get like job training, help with getting a GED, help with, what do you call that? Like
Career prep.
career prep and like internship opportunities. So those programs are available, but they just don't get talked about enough. And just because you have a barrier in life, whether it's I'm not saying having children is a barrier, but at that age, like you're not able. Oh, it could be. Yes.
It is a huge barrier.
Yeah.
And that barrier, they can help cross that gap. So I'm just giving that prep out there that there's resources for people who may want to get their education, but barriers are in their life got in their way. So use that as you see fit.
Yeah, and like, Laura, do you want to go on that about how children are a barrier for her?
The way that he talks about his wife, and then he's saying like she had a little bit of free time on her hands, like that.
Right.
I have two children and a husband who is as engaged as I am. We are
Right.
equally engaged in our children's lives, and we don't have any free time ever. Like the kids have daycare and we have childcare providers. Even then, no way. Like
No.
it is a huge barrier. I can't even imagine trying to pick up after the youngest twins were 1.5.
Honestly, twins scare me. Like the concept of twins scares me. I'm like,
It's scary.
Like, imagine that being your first kids too. Just having twins. You were like, well, I now have to learn everything about babies right now. It's just, oh man.
Totally. But I just just at its base level, not being excited for your partner who's excited about something is so horrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Asshole.
Full on.
Piece of shit asshole.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Asshole all the way through.
Invest in a better personality, dude. Like you are horrible.
That is perfect, John. We'll move on to the next story with that one. So this one is cross-posted on our subreddit again, and it's by semi_nerdy_girl. And the title is, Am I unreasonable for being annoyed that my date asked to split the bill? And this is not an Am I the Asshole, I should clarify. This is a dating advice one. So I guess none of us are dating, but back when you were
Been a
dating,
while. I didn't date much at all.
Is it unreasonable to ask your date to split the bill?
I didn't date much either. I don't know.
Gosh. Josh, you probably have the most Ringo. Josh, you probably have the most dating experience out of all of us.
We got 3 people in here that did not date a lot.
Oh man.
So Josh is on you.
Did you
I think it
ever
depends on
split
this-
a bill?
I have before. I think it's I don't know. If you're the person asking the other person out, I think that's when you're probably obligated to at least offer to pay the bill. You know what I mean? Like if you ask someone out to a restaurant and then maybe offer to pay, that's where I would go with that. I don't know. There are certain situations where it's like, yeah, we could split the bill, but I don't know.
Okay, but this, even when I invite a friend out, if I invite a platonic friend out, I offer to pay.
Okay.
Because, or like if it's somebody I plan on seeing again, if we do the back and forth, I'll be like, you know, I do like a regular weekly date with like a friend of mine and we go on a walk. I'll be like, I'm going to pay this time because you owe me next time.
Okay.
And like, it's like a deal, you know?
Yeah.
But unless I'm going to go into the situation, like if we're going to order food and apps and drinks, even when I'm out with a group of friends, beforehand, I'm like splitting it, right? Like, let's get separate checks. We
Right.
cool with that? So I think like being clear, but like last minute asking someone to split it, that feels
Red flag.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when the waiter comes and is like at the end of the meal, like, oh, are we doing like a split? Are we doing one type of thing? Then it's real awkward to put somebody on the spot, be like, what do you want to do? Like, no, at that point, if you haven't made, it clear, then I think you got to, offer it up.
Okay, I like that. Well, let's hop in and see what the details are and see if you guys are on
John
the
got
money.
another delicious drink. What is it, John?
My wife delivered me white rabbit Thai tea. Ooh, okay.
Holy
White
shit.
rabbit Thai tea. She always delivers me like this.
Wait, so
Weird
she
drink. Well, not weird
from
drinks,
the
but
white
great
rabbit
drink.
candies? She made it into
Yeah,
a
she
Thai
melted it. Yeah, she melted it and used it as a foam for a Thai tea.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
goodness.
Try it. It's delicious.
I'm sure it is.
You better be paying every bill, John.
I'm fucking,
She's the rich one.
I was going to say, he's definitely not. It's
I'm a broke boy.
All right. So last night, I, 33 female, had a first date with a guy, 38 male, I met on an app. He chose a fancy wine bar for us to go to and also chose the wine. He also wanted to get a few snacks to share, so he did, and he pretty much chose those too. It was a really lovely evening. The conversation was great and we really got on. However, when it came to getting the bill, he suggested that we split it. Now, I don't expect people to pay for me, and I don't think men should pay for everything at all, but the bill was almost 70 pounds for a bottle of wine and some snacks.
which he chose.
Which he chose, yeah.
Which he chose everything, yeah. There was no way I would have ordered such an expensive bottle of wine and was annoyed that he'd chosen it without checking if it was okay and if he expected to go halves. It was also very clear that he earned a lot more than me. I did have a nice time, but would have never chosen such an expensive place and definitely wouldn't expect someone else to pay so much. I can't quite work out whether it's reasonable to be annoyed. And then there are a couple of edits here. Edit, he did tell me about a time he overcharged his roommate so that he could pay less rent. So that's a whole separate issue. And then edit 2, I'm currently not working due to an illness, so I have very little money. Not that he's aware of that. So what do you guys think? Is it unreasonable for her to have been annoyed?
I gotta agree with what Laura said. Like, I feel like you should have set the precedents beforehand. Like, especially in the situation where you didn't get to choose a place, you didn't get to choose what was getting, what were they getting. They happened to have chosen some really expensive thing. You're kind of like cuffed, like you with your situation currently. Like, you can't really do much about it, and it just sucks. It's an unfortunate situation because they should have communicated that from the get-go, what the bill situation is going to be.
Yeah, exactly. Also, it seems like he did it after the fact, like when Sean said when the waiter comes to
Surprise,
the table.
motherfucker.
And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we're good to split, right? Like that puts you in such an
Yes.
awkward position because if he'd asked you before that, you'd been like, oh, like, okay, but like, let's get cheaper snacks and let's get,
Right.
maybe a different bottle of wine.
No, she's right. I would be super annoyed. What comes to mind, I have this friend, Andy, who we were always like, oh man, Andy's coming out to dinner. He always orders apps for the table. And we don't have apps for the table money.
Shout out, Andy.
And
That is
That's
awkward.
why we always pay separate, Andy. No, that's not cool. And it's totally like, it's a red flag dating wise.
For sure.
Because then it's like, okay, you're not going to be upfront. You're not going to, it's consent.
Yes.
It's consent.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. It is. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Also, controlling behavior for like you dictate
Yes.
everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
there was a TikTok. I don't know if any of you saw it recently. Where
I've seen it.
a woman was on a
That's what kind
date,
of reminded me.
and she was secretly recorded it. I was like, this has got to be. This has to be fake, right? This is bar for bar exactly what a piece of shit man would do on a first
Wait,
date.
I haven't seen it.
He basically is like, oh, I'll order for you kind of thing, and like chooses.
Yeah,
everything.
and he said something about like, oh, we're not getting this type of drink because it has so much calories.
Yeah,
Boy,
yeah.
like, are you serious?
Yeah, it's gross. I'm actually. Did
Very
you
controlling.
stitch that one, Laura?
I did not, but I heard after the fact that it was a skit,
Okay.
and
Thank God.
she's like, I did have a date like this, so
Okay, well-
it's true,
Yeah,
but
there's still truth behind
that's
it.
why it seemed kind of scripted.
Well, it was like word
I
for
know
word.
people go on that date.
Yeah, well, 100%. I've heard of women going on those kind of dates all the time. So I wasn't like, oh, there's no realm where this isn't real. But I was like, this seems to be hitting every single bar that would be like
Yeah.
a terrible person on a date. And so I was like, it seems a little bit too scripted. But so that's good to know. But bad that she
Yes.
went on that kind of date. All right. Well, we're going to hit an ad break quick, and then we'll be right back with a couple more stories. And we're back.
Wow.
That's the ad break.
Seamless.
Hope you used Manscaped to have a better date than the last two people did.
Split the bill, not your. I'm not going there.
Where were you going?
It's like split
Don't
your
ask.
balls, but
Don't.
I would answer.
I know you would. All right. So the next story is from Am I the Asshole? It's cross-posted by Phoebe the Fan, and it's titled, Am I the Asshole for asking my wife to respect my title as a pilot?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with.
He is the
Laura,
asshole for...
you can elaborate. Go ahead.
The biggest red flag for me is the word respect.
Right. RESPCT. Find out what it
Yep.
means to me.
Immediate red flag.
Okay.
The vibe is off.
I like that. That's something you guys should learn, finding like keywords that give them red flags.
Again, we're idiots.
Yeah,
Josh.
we're not smart.
This is why we bring in professionals in
I
here.
know. We're training you guys to get better.
Are you going to give me money to further my education?
No.
Then
No, I won't.
Don't complain about your co-host.
I will
He's just gonna
congratulate
laugh
you.
at us
No.
for
Yes.
our
He's gonna be nice
accomplishments.
about it.
Yeah.
No, I will be good. I will be joyous.
Just gaslights us all the time, huh, Sean? Like,
I do
what's going
that.
on, dude?
Yeah, that's my red flag.
Crazy.
Gosh, it's all the flannel that you be wearing. That's why.
Yeah, that's what it is. What do you guys agree with Laura? Or-
I'm getting a red flag vibe too, because something about like people referring to themselves as their title instead of their being as a person gives me
Right.
douchebag vibes. I know this is giving me like my ex career as a military.
I was gonna say
someone who's like, don't refer to me by my name, refer to me as sergeant. I'm like,
Right.
bitch, I'm a sergeant too. Like, come on, like you don't need me to. I don't need you to call me that. Like when I'm off uniform, So
yeah.
it's giving me you think you're the shit type of vibes.
Okay.
those people that are like they don't respect the veterans and disrespect. No disrespect to veterans out there, but there are definitely some people that are like a little bit
what? Yep.
over the board with that kind of stuff. If you know,
Over
what I
the
mean.
board.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay, so let's hop into it and see where it goes. I need opinions of AV geeks and pilots on a matter involving my wife. I am completely serious and I need help. That was in all
Aviation.
caps.
I was gonna ask what AV was. That's aviation, right?
Think so. I'm not
Okay.
I'm not an AV geek, so I don't know.
Sounds right.
My wife and I have been together for 5 years, married for 2, no kids. We have an amazing relationship, and I can't recall a single time we've ever argued to the point of breakup or divorce. I mean, I would hope
Extreme, bro.
not.
Damn, he's really thinking about divorce because
A little fight. You can communicate is immediately fight or divorce. Like
I also like that he's like, a single fight that's what it equates to, is a breakup or
Yes.
divorce. It's like, no, you could have fights in a relationship, just it doesn't have to equal breakup. Anyway, this issue, however, is causing me to reconsider the health of our relationship. Since my wife and I have been together, I have worked as a manager for a restaurant chain. I'm extremely passionate aviation enthusiast in my free time. I've spent thousands of dollars of flight textbooks, sim gear, and even built my own A330 setup. I don't know what that is, but
Like
Sounds
a simulator setup?
Probably, yeah. Sounds expensive.
Okay.
Sounds like this man hasn't actually flown a plane, but I'll wait.
It's funny you say that, Sean. The next sentence, I have never actually flown a plane.
Oh, no.
But respect my title, no.
Bless your heart.
I've never actually flown a plane or started flight training, but I have considered it for a long time. Even though my skills are not a career, I still consider myself as adept or possibly more knowledgeable than the average pilot. That being said,
Excuse me?
that being said, here is where my problem arises. My wife and I were invited to one of her male coworkers' house for a barbecue. My wife is a senior software tech for a COVID startup. She's worked there since 2020, a lucky catch after she was laid off from her previous job due to the virus.
Lucky.
Lucky cat. Do you know how
Already putting her down here.
Yeah, true.
Do you know how difficult it is for women to get in tech? And this is someone from a tech space.
Yeah.
Okay? So like, it is so hard to be respected as a woman in the tech space, and I don't fucking stand that
Yeah,
shit.
shout out to your wife because she's hella respected in the tech space.
Yeah,
Shit, you know, like shout out to my wife. She's thank
killing
you
it.
for making me all these drinks and being awesome to
Killing
me
in
because
the
I
tech
am
industry.
nothing.
It was my first time meeting many of her now close coworkers due to the COVID and working from home. I'd assumed she talked about me before, but as we were cycling through the introductions, I became less sure. We were making our way down the line to the host of the party, a new male hire that she has grown platonically close with. We exchanged casual conversation, and Greg, the host, asked what I do for a living.
Oh no.
My wife
Oh, don't say
No, don't call him a pilot.
this. Brother, don't do it.
My wife chimes in with, he manages a insert fast food chain. It comes with certain benefits. I'm assuming she refers to the free food. And in a voice that implied nothing was wrong with what she said, I quickly corrected her and told her that I'm a
Correct?
pilot.
No.
I played thousands of hours
No.
of Elder Scrolls Skyrim. You don't see me claiming myself as a professional orc.
This is wild. But yeah, I was thinking the same shit. Imagine playing Grand Theft Auto for decades
I'm a
upon
hitman.
decades and being like, yo, my wife don't respect me as a gangster, bro. Like, what the fuck? I be on these streets every day. I'm simming it.
I'm a 99 on 2K. I'm
Have
Hall
I
of
ever
Fame,
been
baby.
in a gang? No. But she will respect my title as a gangster. This is insane behavior.
Unhinged.
Absolutely insane.
So my wife already knows how insecure I am about my job and how I'd much rather be introduced by my hobby. I've earned the title of pilot through my 500 plus hours on sim and thousands of dollars put into my craft. I think it's incredibly disrespectful for her not to acknowledge my skill and training. Just because I don't have the title of a pilot on an overpriced piece of paper doesn't mean I'm not a pilot.
I think that's
what makes you-
exactly. I think I might be crazy, but I think that's exactly what that means.
Oh, here's where it gets not well. I mean, it's funny now, but here's where it gets not so funny. So I laughed it off with Greg, told him under my breath that my wife was often forgetful, which I'm sure he realized just from working with her.
No.
Oh, no.
No. You are a fake
Wait,
pilot.
pause.
Yeah.
I'm not a therapist,
Okay.
but I'm on TikTok and I watch a lot.
Same.
That gives you like, you know, that gives you
I watch.
cred.
Actually, I go to therapy, which makes me a mental health expert.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna diagnose this guy as a narcissist, as a TikTok therapist, which is what I like to be.
Which is
called.
Yeah, you can print that off. You have as much experience as this guy has as being a pilot. So
Yes, exactly.
You have the equipment. You
No.
spent money on equipment already. You might
I
as well.
did.
Just because you don't have a
My
fancy
phone,
piece
it-
of paper that says you're a therapist doesn't mean you're not a therapist.
No, oh, that's so bad. But no, totally like these narcissistic traits, like feeling smarter than other people, needing to center yourself, like all of those like weird behaviors of like my wife.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't know shit. Like, she's just a dum-dum.
Especially at a
So
work,
weird.
like her work
A work
Her
function.
work
function.
Right. Her work function.
where it reflects on her how you act at the party.
Imagine telling
Nasty.
your
Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait to
your
hear.
wife's coworker, oh, she's forgetful. Like,
Yeah.
that puts her in such a bad light. Like, what are you doing?
Just
And why can't you be proud of what you do, man? Like what
yeah,
you do is
there's nothing
work.
wrong with being a manager at a
Yeah.
fast food restaurant. That's hella
You keep-
stressful.
You keep me going like on days where like, I can't make food. So
Yeah.
be proud of that.
Absolutely. So he seemed to brush it off casually. At this point, I'm fuming, but I don't go much farther than exchanging some nasty glances at my wife for the rest of the night. As we pack into the car to leave, the argument starts. She feels as if I don't deserve my title as a pilot because I'm not professional. I told her she is completely... I told her she is completely insensitive to the
I'm
work.
with her. I'm sorry.
I think we all are.
Oh, God.
I told her she is completely insensitive to the work I've done and she will never understand what it's like to study so much. She's currently on the couch as I type this. Am I really the asshole for asking to be respected?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you just say she didn't study that much?
Yes. To be a senior,
in-
whatever it was.
Sane. You know how much they gotta learn. They gotta learn Python. They gotta learn script. All that shit.
Yeah.
That has a lot of math. Ever since they put letters on math, I gave up. That's a lot of studying.
That's like grade 5.
Yeah, that was pretty early on, John.
My point exactly.
Oh, man. Just unhinged behavior to try and convince other people that you're something you're
Yeah,
not.
it's so weird. That's the part. Because if we go back to the previous one where it's like putting down her hard work, this is not the same thing.
No.
Like if you're a hobbyist and this is your passion, that's totally different. Someone asked what he does for a living. Like, what do you do for a living? I manage, but I spend most of my time with this really cool aviation project that I'm into. Like, that is a totally different thing. Like, again, like I'm going to gas my husband up on his hobbies, but he would never be like, you don't respect me as again, like whatever fucking video game he's playing right now. Like, I don't know.
Flight simulator.
Yeah. This is my, oh shit, he wrote this.
Well, it'd be like,
Sorry, Jack.
it's like, so I do website development and design. It'd be like if I was at a party, like a work function for my girlfriend, and she introduced me and I was like, no, I'm a podcaster. Like that's what I do. Like, it's not what I do for a living, right? It's
Right.
It's something else
Not
completely.
yet.
Well, not yet, but yeah. And to be fair, to his credit, if he actually did go out and got the certificate and was working on getting a pilot, like become a pilot, and he was like, oh, I'm working to get my pilot's license, then it would be like, okay, that's fine. Like you can be like, yeah, I'm a manager, but I'm working to get my pilot's license to become a pilot. Like that's fine. You can do that. But right now you have not done the steps to even go get into the schooling to get to be a pilot. You're so many steps removed from where you want to be.
It's a fake title.
Yeah.
He faked a title.
He did. He just lied. I'm the president of the
Just
United
a
States.
lie. Yeah.
You can't, Josh. You're Canadian.
You can't stop me. Oh man. Any last thoughts before we move on to the next story?
Sean, I think you were saying something.
Oh, no. I was just going to make a joke, but I already forgot it.
No. Try to remember it.
No,
pressure.
move on.
Oh, dang it.
All right. So the next story here we have, this will be the last one before we get into the Patreon stuff. It's a relationship advice story. So 23 female, 25 male. I had a pregnancy scare and my boyfriend's reaction to it all is weirding me out. So
Damn.
yeah, no predictions here, I guess, because you can't tell whether they're an asshole or not. But
We'll pass judgment.
yeah, do you think you'll...
No, red flag.
Yeah, okay, red flag.
Red flag.
Yeah, I think being weird towards that is weird for sure.
I mean, we judge people on the internet. That we could be in the Supreme Court tomorrow. So, like that guy as a pilot.
Okay, I was like, where are you going with this? But I'm the dumbass. I forgot the last story. already.
Yeah, what an idiot. You're the one that told it.
All right, let's hop into it and see where this goes. So A few things happened in the lead up to the pregnancy scare. A condom broke and I skipped my period. I think due to being sick and stressed, which doesn't often happen to me. So I got a pregnancy test, fucked it up as I didn't know how to use it, and it came up void. Does that mean positive? I don't know. I'm a dumb.
Just
False
not
positive?
accurate.
No, it has to have 2 lines, just like a COVID test.
Okay.
And so if neither line shows up, then
You're okay.
she probably peed on the thing.
On the wrong part. I mean, those things are
Yeah.
confusing, to be
I
fair.
did see
Like,
a picture that was like different brands have different little symbols. So it's like you truly don't know sometimes.
I saw one that had like a happy face. And it's like, which one's which?
Which one is it?
It's like, which means which? It depends on the situation.
And then you just have to guess.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I think I'm okay. I don't know. Anyway, so why do bad things always have to happen at once? Fuck me. This was a stressful week. Apparently, you have to do the test first thing in the morning on a certain day? ? Anyway, I thought I was pregnant and booked a doctor's appointment, so I was a bit unsure for a week or so if I was or wasn't pregnant. Good news is I wasn't. My doctor went through birth control options with me and sent me to the local sexual health clinic as they have a group meetups for learning. That's a good doctor.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been upfront with my boyfriend that I don't want kids, and according to him, neither does he. When I told him the news, he was ecstatic and couldn't wait to start our little family. I kept trying to remind him that I didn't want this, but he was too caught up in it all. I sort of left him to it after that and dealt with it myself. I was stressed out as it is. I didn't need to deal with the whole other person on top of it. He clearly knew that I didn't want to be pregnant, and if it actually came down to it, I would terminate the pregnancy. 2 days later, he came back to me telling me that he had it all sorted out. Oh, Jesus. A coat hanger, you might ask? No. He sorted out the living arrangements for us to move in together, back into his childhood room with his parents on the opposite side of the country. His parents were positively thrilled, and his mom has tried calling me multiple times. He started buying furniture online for us and had them delivered and told me we were going to go over next weekend to set it up and start moving. This is all so sudden. Considering at this point, I didn't actually know if I was pregnant.
Okay, I was going to stop you because she like gave away that he doesn't know yet. He thinks she's pregnant.
I think
so.
At this point, she's also not sure. So I think it's
But she has expressed that she does
doesn't
not want
want
to be
kids.
pregnant.
yes. Many times it sounds like.
Ooh.
So on top of that, I've only met his parents once. I live near my parents and I live in my own apartment. He is in a house share. If I was pregnant and wanting to keep it, he had just picked the weirdest and dumbest idea. I haven't actually told him I'm not pregnant yet. I found out yesterday and have all of this I wanted to talk about, which I feel should happen in one go. So that is the end of that one. Do you have any advice for her?
Oh my.
This is tough.
Is it?
I don't know if it is that
Okay.
tough.
Just break
For
up
me.
I
with
got
the
advice
guy,
for
right?
her. What would you all say to him? What would you all say to him?
Chill out and support your girlfriend.
Whatever decision she makes. Yeah.
It's
It's not
her-
your
Well,
body.
I think they
Yeah.
both need to talk it out. Like he went all full irrational and picked a plan like so quick though.
But it sounds like she did express herself, and he was like, "No, I'll figure it out. We'll fucking," and then started putting a crazy plan together with none of her consent. It sounds like.
Yeah.
So was he lying then when he said that he didn't really want kids? Because I don't think this is just some quick.
Wait, did he say
You know,
that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
he
said
said he
that.
also didn't want children.
Oh,
So did he just say that to like get on her good side or?
Entrap
I
her.
mean, maybe when a scare like that happens, your mind might change. I don't know. It's who knows? I don't know.
That has happened. That happened to a friend of mine.
Oh.
There was a scare, and then she and her partner were just like, "Oh well, okay, I guess."
Yeah, because you built like an idea in your head, sort of.
Yeah.
This guy did.
But no, the alarm bells go off. Like I would be furious if I don't know why she's not freaking out more. Telling his mom, buying furniture, like moving cross country
Without having a conversation.
Conversation,
Yes.
right? Yeah, that's you dictate their whole life immediately. That's kind of scary behavior, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's okay to be like a little thrown off, but you got to come back together and be like, okay, if you are pregnant, like, what do you want to do? What should we do together? And you go into it like as a team, whether she wants to keep the baby or not. Like, you're like, okay, I'm going to support you no matter what you want to do. And then, I mean, it turned out it didn't matter. She wasn't pregnant anyway. So you really put the horse before the cart on that one. But
he like planted the seed of what the intention was. And that's pun intended as well. But,
but no, I had the same thought. It's like, was he trying to entrap her? Because like immediately I'm like,
because that could be possible.
Man, yeah. So spooky. Like, again, I've been in a relationship for like 13, 14 years and have multiple children. And if my husband was to be like, oh, your period's late? Yeah, let's like, I got a crib. I got a bigger house for you to move into. I called your mom. I'd be like, whoa, dude.
Not even your mom.
I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
his mom in his childhood bedroom. You're like laying down a Steve or whatever. What's the person in Car's name? McQueen, Lightning McQueen, whatever.
Lightning McQueen
bed.
Good job.
Yeah.
I had no idea where you're going with that, but yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he had like a freaking like childhood bed.
I got where you got. So just a little bit more context here. Someone commented, they said, quote, you left him to it, i.e. didn't communicate to him about any of the developments. And then she comments and says, I tried to a few times, but he kept messaging me over and over about the new baby. I messaged him to remind him that I was going to have an abortion. And we'd previously had this conversation just under a year ago where we both agreed. And 3 messages later, he sent me pictures of baby shoes. He wasn't even letting me communicate.
No.
Yeah, I think he had full intention of trapping her.
Maybe he broke the condom.
I'm starting to think that way. That's why I said it was tough at first. I'm like, wait, I feel like there's some trapping here.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to hold on hope that he just really, the scare happened and he was like, oh man, I think I do want a kid. Like his mind changed and he just got way too excited. I want to hope, just for the humanity of people that that's the case and that he wasn't like a master plan. I'm going to fucking stab this condom and then things will happen. But, we have dealt with a lot of shitty people on this podcast. Yeah. So, I mean, we can't put out the possibility that that's
I'm just saying he had a plan put together pretty fucking quick.
I was going to say, I'm sick in the heads and I don't I don't see the good in humanity sometimes. I feel like he lured her into some false sense of security that like, I don't want a kid either. So, they were kind of just like, whatever, we'll do what we got to do. And I think he poked a hole in that condom. Because that plan is too quick. For you to like execute like that instead of being in a state of shock of like, oh shit, my whole life can change, but you already had shit laid out. There's got to be some groundwork that you did on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so many red flags. And I'm going to add my little info note is that for anyone listening, that's called stealthing, and it is sexual assault, and it is illegal, and it doesn't matter your gender. You have to get expressed consent when it comes to birth control, ejaculation, insemination, all that stuff. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Learned something new today.
It sounds like she did talk about it. She was
many
extremely clear.
Yeah. Well, under a year. And when this was going down, she was texting him saying, I'm going to get an abortion if I am pregnant. And he's sending her baby shoes. Like, that is just not the response.
Dump him.
That's premeditated as fuck, dude.
Yeah, let him move across country to his parents' bedroom.
Right, he's already got the
he
furniture.
Got the bed already.
He's good.
He's fine. Yeah, let him move back.
Let him sleep in a crib instead.
All right, and with that, we're gonna hit the Patreon exclusive stories.
Laura,
Sean,
we're gonna brace you here real quick because Sean is gonna do his epic intro.
Before I do that, I'm gonna pee. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Stealthing. Ooh, I've never heard that term before. That's new.
Yeah, I'm learning lots in this episode, which is why I'm like, this is good.
Yeah, it's only recently, which is actually, I watch a lot of 90 Day Fiance. Do any of you ever watch that?
That's John's favorite
When
show.
Sean comes back, tell him that he loves 90 Day too. I met Big Ed, by the way, in the airport. I hate him.
Nice. Me
He's
too.
He's a douchebag. He's a manipulator.
Yep. Him and his girl. They're both horrible.
They're both horrible.
Well, if you're watching that season, then it's, God, I wish I knew their name.
Describe them, I probably know.
From Trinidad. She wears the...
Oh, yeah. The two ones from Kansas City, right?
Yes.
Yes, the yoga instructor.
She says that she wants to get pregnant right away. He doesn't want to get pregnant right away.
Oh.
And in the latest episode we watched, she was like, I'm just going to stop taking my birth control. And my husband and I are shouting at the TV, and I was like, dude, that's stealthing. She's going to stealth him. Like, that's not okay.
No, that is horrible. That's so scary.
Shaida is her name. I forgot
Shaida.
the guy's name.
That's fine.
I watch it a lot with my wife.
Darcy and Stacy are back now. There's a new season of Darcy
really?
and Stacy.
Dang. Oh, Sean, we were talking about 90 Day Fiance. Are you caught up?
No, I mean, I think I only watched like a few seasons of that, and not even
okay.
like full.
Never mind.
Just like watch whenever my wife is watching. But I was
those,
fully there for like Big Ed's first season.
I know who he is, and I've never even watched the show, which is
He's a piece of
telling.
shit. He's a piece of work.
Shit. The tell-alls are my favorite.
But a lot of people on those shows are. I mean, I don't think they're trying to get great people on there.
No.
But also,
it's a
They're
reality
bad
TV
people.
show.
yeah,
Controversy creates cash.
Yeah,
It's facts.
it's like that new one, MILF Manor or whatever.
Oh my!
Excuse
what?
me?
Oh,
Yeah,
I want to watch it.
it's so like I've
watch
I've never actually watched it, but my TikTok feed is just that because I always I'm like, what is this? And it seems like the most unhinged show for like reality TV show. So it's like older women go on this reality show thinking that they're going to hook up with like younger men. But the twist is the younger men that are on this show are all their sons.
Wait,
Hey,
no, I didn't know
yo.
that.
Yeah.
Hey, yo!
So, I mean, they can still hook up with the other younger guys, but their sons are on the show as well.
Oh
that's
no!
so chaotic. That's almost evil.
I know. And there's so many weird challenges they put them through where they like blindfold the mom and they have to feel like the abs of all the like
Ew,
No.
it might build a
kids
son.
lined
No.
up and try and like identify which one's their son. It's so
They
Saw
have to
so many
identify
comments.
their son.
yeah.
They don't take the son out.
No, that wouldn't make for good content, Sean.
Well, luckily we have this on video, so we can get a reaction.
I cannot believe that. Who would willingly just because it's set up to be sexual for sure, and you would
Yeah.
just let that happen? I'd be like,
I mean, I don't-
I think I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope some of the contestants left, but the ones that stayed definitely didn't know coming on. And then they were probably informed and they're like, well, you want to stay? They said, yeah. So
Those are honestly some of my favorite, like the flip it ones,
Yeah.
like the Too Hot to Handle
yeah,
on Netflix.
that's a good one.
So funny.
Is that, I like the British one. The British one's good.
That's Love Island.
Love Island. Sorry.
Oh, I like
They're all-
Love
Love Island
Island
is great.
Yeah.
But Too Hot to Handle is that, and they expect to go and screw around,
Yeah.
and then they aren't allowed to.
They've tricked them.
Like, they take money away if they kiss and stuff. But there's this other one called Tool Academy.
oh.
I'm
heard this
taking
one.
notes.
It's a throwback.
I love
Okay.
trash TV.
Early 2000s. It's called Tool Academy, and these dudes come on, and they're like, it's the peak Jersey Shore era.
Oh, yeah.
And these
nice.
dudes are like, I'm like a hot babe, cool beefcake. And then they like turn it, like Uno reverse it. And they're like, no, everyone in your life elected you because you're such a douchebag.
That's fantastic.
and it's like, they have to go through like couples challenges. It's super hilarious.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
It's like
I
a
could
big
watch it.
intervention live on, for everyone to
Yes.
watch. That's awesome.
For being a tool. It's
Jersey
amazing.
Shore again. Cabs are here.
All right. With that, we will end off the episode. Huge thanks to Laura, aka That Darn Chat, for coming on the podcast. You were amazing.
Can't wait to come back.
We'll definitely have you back. 100%.
Yes.
Shout out whatever you want to our Wikimaniacs. I know you have like 100 things that you've got on your website. So whatever projects
know.
you got going on, whatever else you want to shout out.
Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm at That Darn Chat over there. It's real hard to get people to follow you on YouTube.
Yes, we've learned that.
That.
We'll tag you. There'll be a link right here to Laura's channel. So if you go to subscribe there if you're listening on YouTube.
Thanks. And subscribe to here, okay?
Yes.
Subscribe to all of us.
All of
that
us.
would be super helpful.
Awesome.
But no, I'm so excited. It was really, really fun.
Yeah.
Super awesome.
You were great. I mean, I learned tons this episode.
Same.
Yeah.
We talked about 90 Day Fiance, so like, you know, that just makes me happy even more.
Yeah, we talked about MILF Manor.
We did talk about MILF Manor. Yes.
Yes.
That was
Most horrific show ever put on television.
You know what, Josh? You got to just put that on, man.
I guess I just got to now. Yeah. But yeah, huge thanks to Laura. You were amazing this episode. And yeah, we'll definitely have you back on. You need to have your own podcast, I think, where people just write in questions to you because you're amazing.
And you have the gear.
You do have the gear. Yeah. The camera.
I've been working on it for a while, but as you know, it's work.
It is.
So.
It is.
It is.
Well, hit us up if you ever need a hand, and we'll definitely down to
More than happy
collab.
to help. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Sweet. So if you want to hear more of this show, consider subscribing and giving us a rating and review on whatever platform you are on. Don't forget, we've got 2 stories. One's an Am I the Asshole? One's relationship advice behind the paywall. So if you want to get those 2 stories, go to patreon.com/Cultivate Podcast Network. Sign up today. And yeah, all of Laura's links will be in our show notes. So go check her out. She does amazing work. And with that,
Thanks.
we will say goodbye and we will see you on Monday, everyone.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Just wave. Just yeah, there we go.
Ricky Bobby. I don't.
I don't know what to do.
I'm trying to do what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't
The
know.
heart, isn't that the heart
Yeah,
thing?
It is.
Little Korean hearts.
Expert in fucking, I don't know.
For the 5th time, it's your boy Sean. Coming at-